Hello world and all who inhabit it. I'm trying out my new 5 Below phone stand today. So I realize I'm a little bit sideways. I've been trying to get this thing to not fall over for like 20 minutes. So I'm just gonna be sideways, but that's okay because in today's video, I'm just gonna kind of be in the little bottom corner of the screen for most of it. Also, I'm unpacking, like my stuff just got here. So like I'm unpacking. Obviously not right now because I'm taking a break to do this, but that's why there's all these boxes in the background. So just ignore the boxes. Point is, it's okay if I don't look perfect because I'm just gonna be in the little teeny corner of the screen. You're not gonna have to worry about the boxes or if my phone is a little bit sideways or whatever because you're going to be focusing on my screen recording of my Mac. So I wanted to kind of do like a very, very basic guide to Scrivener, because I've been using Scrivener for about 3 years now, and it comes with a lot of bells and whistles that I just don't use. But there are some features that it has that I just like, I can never go back to Microsoft Word because of this. So I'm just gonna give y'all a little walkthrough of how I use Scrivener. If you don't know what Scrivener is, it's a word processing software for writers. It is a one-time like flat rate purchase fee. This is not sponsored. I wish it was. It's like a one-time flat rate purchase fee. It's for Windows and Mac. I like the Mac version better. Like I had a trial of it when I was using a PC, and then I got my Mac and I just liked that version a lot better. So, you know, I'm never getting rid of this computer just for the sole purpose of being able to use Scrivener on it. And I realized I didn't actually show you how to open a new project in Scrivener. I just already had Saving Summer opened. So I'm actually gonna just cut in here and show you how to open a new project. If you want to open a recent file, it just says open recent. If you want to start a new project, I go to fiction. If you do novel, the difference between novel and novel with parts is novel with parts comes with more pre-made folders. So I'm gonna save this as sample. Yeah, I'm gonna replace it because I already have a sample, I guess. All right, so then as you can see, it says like part, then chapter, then scene, then scene. What it would do if you just did novel instead of novel with parts is it would just have the chapter folders, chapter and scene. It would just have the chapter folders and the scene documents. And you can rename these to whatever you want. You can rename the chapters as well. And then this is, I show you like how to change all this stuff later. So like the formatting and everything. So we won't worry about that right now, but that's how you do that. And if you decide you don't actually want these part folders, then you can just drag this folder out and move that to the trash. And then if you want to make a new folder, you can just right click on Manuscript and then add folder. If you want this folder to go in another folder, just move it to that folder. You can put as many folders within as many folders as you want. You could put scenes within different folders, and then the way you make a new document is new text. You can name it whatever you want, and then drag it wherever you want it to go. So those are the things I forgot to show you. So we're in Scrivener. This is my outline for Saving Summer. Fun fact, it was originally called Saving You for like 2 days. And then I changed it to Saving Summer. And then I named the chapters. That was just for me. Like I named them after songs, but they're not gonna have names in the actual book. So anyway, yeah. Yeah, so here's my whole manuscript outline. I have this in card view, like or corkboard view. If you there's like also outline view if you prefer that. You know, I'm not a big fan, mostly because like this word count thing doesn't work with folders. Like it only works with documents. It doesn't work on documents within folders. So like that's just one of my pet peeves, but like it works up here. Up here, it'll tell you like my goal for this manuscript was 80,000 words. It's almost 100,000. So I kind of overshot that a little bit, but you know, I still have to send it to my editor, like pare it down a little bit probably. So the only other view I really use besides the corkboard, this is just how I like to have it laid out, which takes a little bit to load. All right, so then what this is it has, I'm not going to scroll down because spoilers, but it has your entire manuscript. As you can see, it's quite a few pages. As I said, it's going to be pared down in beta reading and editing. But so the reason I use this is because when I go to paste it in Microsoft Word, there is a way to like export the entire document into Microsoft Word. I tried that once with like a draft of something, and I just didn't like the way it transferred to Microsoft Word. So I found it was much easier to just go Command A, Command C, and then open up your Word document. I have one for saving summer, but I'm just gonna use a blank one for this purpose. And we're just gonna scroll all the way back up to avoid spoilers. And it pastes all 352 pages. In Scrivener it says 372, in Word it says 352. I don't know how it's going to transfer to like an actual paperback book or ebook if you prefer ebook. So the one thing is there are like some formatting things like as you can see, I have like these little breaks between Nolan's point of view and Summer's point of view, the two main characters. And there's just kind of like this extra space here that I don't want. So I'm just going to backspace that out and fix the formatting. And it's just like a minor thing for me to go in and fix all the formatting for all 15 chapters and all the little sub-narratives within those chapters. Just a teeny little thing. Like for me, honestly, it's small potatoes compared to like fixing the formatting of what happens when I directly transfer from Scrivener to Microsoft Word. So my screen recording messed up, so I had to redo this part, but this is how you would export to Microsoft Word directly instead of the way that I do it, which I find personally easier. So when you go up to File, you're going to want to hit Compile, not Export. I know you're exporting, so you would think you hit Export, but you're going to want to hit Compile. And then you can choose your settings. These are just what I do. I use DocX because that's the version of Word I have. I just do Manuscript Times New Roman because I don't really know what the other ones do. And again, I don't use this feature often. And I'm going to take off the front matter just because if I don't, then it's going to have my address on there, and I don't want to have my address in this video. And I'm going to call it bad version just because I already have a version of Saving Summer, and I don't like to export it this way. It's just easier for me to do it the other way, but I'll show you how to do it this way just so that you know in case you want to do it this way. So just give it a second to export. And it will automatically open if you select that option, and this is what it looks like. I usually go change the header just because, first of all, it's not called Saving You anymore, and I just like to have my own little header. You can add a page number if you want. I'll show you how to do that in Microsoft Word. Even though this is a Scrivener tutorial, you might want to know how to do that if you don't already know. And then, of course, you can change the font to make it all Times New Roman. And then I usually put a little copyright thing. If I'm sending this to beta readers or someone, I'll put a copyright. Now, the reason I hate this is because it's so tedious to have to get rid of all these brackets. Like, it puts everything in brackets. I don't want the brackets. And it's just super tedious. You have to, like, retype the whole word because you can't just delete the brackets, and then make sure you recenter it. And then you have to redo that. And it changed my font sizes, so I'm going to have to go fix those. And then let's scroll down. I'll show you what it does with scene breaks. Scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. Alright, so you got the brackets again, and then it has that pound symbol that I just don't want there, so I have to delete that out. And then I have to just redo that. And I think it changed the font size of that heading as well, so I have to go fix that too. This is why I just like to copy it myself instead of compiling and exporting this way. And like it does that for every single scene break, every single chapter heading. Let me see if I can get to chapter 2. Yeah, like it puts it in the middle of the page. I don't want it there. I want it at the top of the page. And actually, I don't even need the part that says chapter 2 because I have the number 2 there. So I have to go out and take that out for all the other chapters too. I skipped that in chapter 1. I can't believe I didn't notice that. But, yeah, and then I have to put the right font size. And fix that font size. And it's just so much easier for me to just copy and paste it and fix the little things myself. Let me move on. So one of the features is it makes folders for each of your chapters, which some people prefer to just have one document for each chapter. I find sometimes it lags when I do that. So how I split it up for this particular project, it worked really well because I would alternate between Nolan's point of view and Summer's point of view. So we've got this first scene in Nolan's point of view, and then it goes to Summer's point of view, and then back to Nolan's point of view. And I only have the chapter number at the top of the first one. And I just called this like, you know, chapter 1, scene 1, chapter 1, scene 1 for Summer, chapter 1, scene 2 for Nolan. And that just kind of helped me organize it. That worked really well for this particular project. For other projects where like there's not really a clear way to break things up, you could do like, I guess, each scene in the chapter, but that's just really tedious to go in and edit later when you transfer it to Word. So like, it's completely possible. Like for some of my future projects, I might just do one document per chapter. I haven't had that issue yet because I'm working on this. So, so yeah, if you do like one of my upcoming projects after this is going to be like a journal style. So I would do like one entry for each day and then several days make up a chapter. That's another way to do it. And then I have these color coded. You can color code them. I did yellow for Summer, green for Nolan. They don't mean anything. Those are just the colors I picked. Some people I know use the colors to mean like different versions of a draft or something. I just use it to distinguish like point of view, who's speaking. You don't have to do that. That's just an extra thing that I like to do. If you have like, if you're doing like, at one point, like a couple years ago when I first got Scrivener, I was toying with the idea of a story written from the perspective of like 5 different people. Like it would alternate between this group of 5 friends. And so I would use a different color for each of them. And that, the colors really helped for that one. Cause then I would like be able to see like at a glance, like who has had a part in this chapter, who still needs a part in this chapter. But that project's on hiatus indefinitely. Cause I'm focusing on this right now. And I'm just not sure if I'm gonna go back to it. But the other thing you can do is it has this status here. So you can do in progress, first draft, revised draft. I tried to use this in the beginning, but I got annoyed with it. I was like, that's too tedious. So I stopped doing it, just took everything off, took all the labels off. This, you can target how many words you want each document to be. You can only do this for like the entire manuscript and for separate documents within the manuscript though. It doesn't work for folders unless you know how to get it to work for folders, in which case let me know, because I have not been able to get it to work for a folder with several documents in it. But this will work better for if you're doing one document for each chapter instead of this point of view thing that I've done. Because I don't have a specific length that this one scene needs to be. Otherwise, that is a helpful feature. But I just keep the project target up here, and I'll show you how to edit that actually. Oops. That's a search function. You can use that. I like to use the search function here because let's say I want to find Nolan and Summer talking about the concert they're going to. So I'm going to type in concert and it'll show all the documents in which that word appears. And it even shows the documents in your trash. So like sometimes I'll like delete versions of a document that I just, so like this project has gone like this project has had a few, redrafts, if you will, and so there's a lot of like old documents in the trash folder. Anyway, it will still search the ones in the trash folder. There is a way to empty the trash, so you can just go empty trash and it just deletes everything in the trash, just like that. But yeah, let's see what so I want to edit the scene. I want to edit the scene where they're talking about the concert. So I can check this document and it'll have the word highlighted, and that's not the scene I'm looking for, so maybe it's this one and it has the word concert highlighted. Yep, this is this is the scene I was looking for. I mean, I'm not looking for a specific scene right now, but I'm just pretending. So this is like the scene where they're talking about the concert. So this is, in theory, the scene I was looking for. And then you can just X out of that, and I'll go back here to avoid giving any more spoilers. All right, so another thing I was going to show you how to do. So if you go to show project targets, you can enter how many words you want it to be. I said 80,000 and ended up going over that. And then session target is like, so each session that you're in. So like right now I have 0 words because I just opened this to show y'all. I'm not working on it anymore, but like, I don't know, say that I decide I'm going to add a whole bunch of stuff up here for some reason. This is just a test to show the features of Scrivener. So you can see I've added 11 words. So if you are, say you're doing NaNoWriMo, or you have a goal of how many words you want to get done today, you can put session target, I want to get 5,000 words done today, and it'll tell you up there how many words you've gotten done for this day. So we're just gonna take that out because I don't want that. And so let's see what else. So I like this this little bar here. You can use to like say what each scene is about. I don't really use it. I used it for a different project and just, it was too tedious. I didn't like it. But basically I just tried to sum up what happened in each scene so I could look at it at a glance, but I never referenced those, so I just stopped doing it. Up here it has the same thing, and I used it to name the chapter, which is just for my convenience. Like I named them after songs that remind me of scenes in each chapter. They're not gonna have names in the version that y'all have. So sorry if that's annoying, but I just did that for me. So so what I do use is I use this notes bar. I use it for if I'm sending this to beta reading. I don't really send beta reading copies over Scrivener, first of all, because like who has Scrivener who's not like actually a writer, and also just like I feel like better about sending a PDF because like that's more protected, I feel like. But I'll keep these notes for myself for when we're discussing each chapter. I'll say I had a question about chapter 1, I'll be like, is intro scene, usually it's a little more deeper than that. Does this line of dialogue on page 32 work? Or like, is this character's name too similar to another side character? I can type. So it'll be like things like that. And I'll use that box, and just like then when they get back to me, they'll be like, do you have any questions for me about this chapter? I'll be like, yes, I do. In this case, I don't, but let's see. Where's a chapter where I do have questions? Usually I write my questions down in the specific scene. So like if I have a question about this intro scene with Nolan's narration, I'll be like, I don't know, does it take too long to get to the flashback? Flashback's probably not the right word. You'll see what I'm talking about. So I would put something like that there. Let me see if I have examples. This also helps me gauge how long my chapters are, because sometimes my chapters are much longer than other chapters and I don't realize it until I see like, oh, it's again harder to see because like I can't see the whole chapter's word count, but I can see down here, okay, this scene is 2 pages, and then just add it to this scene that's 1 page. So that does help. All right, so for example, I have this scene, or chapter 6, this scene where Nolan's narrating, and in my notes I put, do I need to clarify that Nolan is being problematic with his comment about Summer only being pretty with makeup, or is that clear already, or should I just take that out altogether? So those are, so that's a question that I ask to beta readers, or that I will ask to my editor if I don't solve it in beta reading. But those are just like little reminders I want to set for myself. Also, another thing I'll do is like, if there's something important that I want to add, but like say like I'm in the middle of a scene and I'm like in the zone, and I remember, okay, if I do this, I'm gonna have to change a scene a few chapters back, but I'm in the zone, I want to finish this scene, but I also don't want to forget that. So, I mean, obviously I'll catch it later when I'm editing, but I'll just usually make a note that's, but also like say I am editing and I see something and I'm like, okay, I need to change this, and then make sure that something in the later chapter works. I'll just do examples. That might be easier. So I'll be like, I don't know, like remember to change the callback to this moment in chapter 5. Or like say that I'm going through and doing a self-edit and I catch something that I forgot to make a note about that I was like, oh, I need to change this. So then I change it and I say, I'll make a note to say, remember to check the other scene that references this moment in chapter 7. Something like that. Usually I'm a little more specific. I'll be like, you know, the consort scene, since I already used that example, or I'll be like the Thanksgiving scene, something like that, so that I remember what it is. If I have a paper copy, this is something I would like highlight and be like, change that or like make a note on it. But I try not to print off a paper copy until I'm doing like my final self-edit before I send it into an editor. So also the reason that my typing is worse than usual today is because of this fun issue that I'm having. So yeah, that's my E. Like it still works. It flies off the keyboard if I press it too hard and I type fast. I type like aggressively fast. Like I could do like 100 something words per minute. It's been a while since I've tested it, but yeah, let me check my resume actually, because I know I put it on my resume because I'm super proud of this. Because I can type at 112 words per minute with 90% accuracy. You can thank my parents for buying me, actually no, you can thank my elementary school teachers for giving us this really fun game in the computer lab called Typing Through Time. That was so fun that I asked my parents to buy it for me so I could play it at home, and then my dad forced me to like go through one lesson every single day until I learned how to type. And he would like tape off home row of my keyboard so that I couldn't look at it, and I had to like actually learn how to type. And like I couldn't play Neopets or anything until I did my typing practice. And so I learned how to type, man. And now I type 112 words per minute with 90% accuracy. So Typing Through Time, highly recommend. Not sure if it works on any modern computers because this was 2004 and I'm pretty sure it came out way before that, but it works. All right. Back to Scrivener, which is what you're interested in if you clicked on this video. All right, so it also has these tabs for like characters and places. You can use that to put like your character outlines, setting descriptions, stuff like that. I don't really do that in here just because it's just tedious for me. Like I just would rather do it in Microsoft Word just because like that's not something that's going to be formatted into the final manuscript. So it's just, but some people like to have everything all in one place. Usually I'm like that, not with this. And so that's like a good place to do that. And I don't really describe settings, so I don't really have anything in places, would never really have anything in places. I mean, I describe settings in the book, just like not separately. I don't have a whole like detail page for each setting like I would with the characters. Front matter, this is like for if you're gonna be actually formatting your novel in Scrivener, which I don't do. I copy it to Microsoft Word, then copy it from Word to Adobe InDesign. And that's how I format. So, but if you want to format in Scrivener, that's something you can do. It has manuscript, paperback, ebook. Yeah, and I don't really know how to use those just because I don't use them. So this is not the tutorial for if you want to use those. All right, and then as for like, okay, so like I do not remember how to format font and everything in Scrivener. So here's my embarrassing confession. I don't remember how to do like formatting or font paragraph stuff in Scrivener, like aside from like very basic, like when you're in, like changing like one thing at a time up here with this bar. Because I did it all of once and then just copied the first line, like say let's just add something here. So and you can name, obviously you can name these documents to help you remember what they are, if that wasn't obvious. But so I would just do this and then like say this is now chapter 2, I would change that to a 2. Summer's narrating, I would change this to Summer. It's not the beginning of a chapter, I would take that whole line out. which I would have to do that. And then this next line, I make sure it's not centered, and sometimes I would like go habitually align it to the left because that's how I like always wrote everything was aligned to the left in school. And then for writing though, it's usually you align it justified, and so you do like justified alignment. And so sometimes I forget to do that still, but usually like I think it's been like more than a year since I've slipped up, so just make sure that that's in justified, that's in center. And then I just go back all the way here and then start typing the new chapter. And if I keep typing long enough, it will start a new paragraph, and you will see the line indents are a thing. So that's my little embarrassing confession right now, is I do not remember how I did the formatting originally. Like, it seems like it would be so straightforward, right? You go up to this format thing, there's font, there's paragraph, like, you know what, let's see if I can do it. Let's see if I can just do this from scratch. So we're gonna delete this. Move to trash. We're gonna start a new one. Let's see if I can do it. All right, so first things first, change it to Times New Roman. 12-point font. I want this centered because it's the start of a new narration. Since Nolan was the last speaker, let's just do summer. Actually, this would be in font 13. All right, and then down, and then 12, and then to the left. Start, oops, we don't want that italic anymore. Start typing here. All right, so let's see. Format, font's good. Paragraph, tabs and indents. First line, looks like that's already set. Format, paragraph, spacing. So, let's not, I think that's, nope, that's not it. We're gonna figure this out together. I think that's it. Well, we don't want that centered. We want that. You see what I just did? Okay, so then let's see if we keep typing. If we keep typing, if it will start a new line with an indent, or if I have to fix that. All right, so we've got our indent. Okay, so that's how you do that. Let me just actually go back to one of these. Oh, that's my email. Let me just go back to one of these chapters and see if I open up the, hello? All right, well, I guess I have to highlight. So let's highlight this document and let's go to format, paragraph, line, paragraph. So you have to highlight it, like you have to highlight the whole text before you can change things, apparently. I forgot that. Learning experience. Okay, yeah, so that is what you change. Line height and then paragraph spacing. Okay, let's also go back and change that then. That's what did I just do? What did I just do? Okay, so let's go back here and go to format, paragraph, line and paragraph spacing, and we want to there. Okay, so now it looks the way I want it to, and that's how you do that. Should I have done that before I started filming this video so that you didn't learn it with me? Probably, but that's not how I roll. So we're doing this very much in the moment. All right, I can delete this now. I don't need it anymore. Move to trash. All right, so the thing I like about corkboard view within the chapters is it shows you all the scenes like this, and then like if you pick a color, it shows it there. See, some other things I like, if you go into view, so for text editing, I have it in page view. I think that's exclusive to Macs. Like if you have the PC version, I don't think you can do that, but I have this in page view, so it looks like a Microsoft Word page. If I hit hide page view, it looks like that. I don't like that. I'm used to Microsoft Word, so view, text editing, show page view. And then for use label color in, binder icons, index cards, show background, shows background color in binder. That's how you, so I did binder and show as background color. That's how you get it to look like this. Otherwise, like, let's see. If you don't do that, then you don't see the color. And like the whole point of me picking a color is so that I can see it. Like, yeah, you can still see it here, but no. I need to see it there. So use label, color, and binder. And then I have that set because otherwise it'll just be a dot. And I like it to just be the whole thing. I think that's prettier. But that's just for me. As far as zoom, I have this at 125%, because if I have it at 100%, it's like I can barely see that. Like, I have glasses for driving, but like if I can make this big enough where I can see it and not wear glasses to stare at a screen, because if I wear them for a while, they start to give me a headache. So, but then if I make it like 200%, that's way too big. Like, I can't work with that. 150, this is more like what I see in Microsoft Word is 150. But it just looks so big to me. Like, I liked when it was, I just like it at 125 because it's like, this looks like a good font size to me. It's like a nice petite font size, and that's just how I like it. So that's what I do. So yeah. And then Scrivener will like autosave any changes you make unless you like turn that off. I think you can turn that off. I just don't because I like it to autosave. I wish more things would autosave. Like if autosave existed when I was in elementary and middle school, I would have so much more of my old writing to look back on and cringe at, but I don't. So yeah, so let's see. I haven't tried working with images in Scrivener. Not really sure if that's a thing, like pasting an image. I'm sure it's a thing you can do, but I haven't tried working with it. That's not a feature that I use. So that's pretty much the gist of how I use Scrivener. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I do. But yeah, that's pretty much all that I use in Scrivener. So that is my very basic tutorial for the like very easy features of Scrivener. Maybe somewhere down the line I'll make a more advanced tutorial if I start doing more stuff with it, but for now, like, this is just my basic lazy writer's guide to using Scrivener. And it's like, those are features that I would prefer to use versus the ones available in Word. And like, you might think like, Liv, why did you pay for Scrivener if you barely use any of the features? And to that I say, first of all, I didn't pay for it. It was a Christmas gift from my parents. Second of all, there are features in there that there are not in Microsoft Word, and it's just so much easier for me to use Scrivener. There are still some things I find easier about Microsoft Word, like their find and replace feature is a lot easier. Their, what's it called? Like the way you can like make headings. So like in the sidebar, it'll be like chapter headings. Like you can do that. That is an option. I don't know where I was going with that. So like, I mean, you can kind of have it like Scrivener if you do like headings and subheadings like that. It's easier to do headings and subheadings in Word, and the sidebar will look kind of like Scrivener, but I just like Scrivener better. It's a lot easier. And like manually formatting my headings really is not that big a deal to me because I didn't even know you could auto format headings until like 2015, and I'd been writing for years. Like I've been writing on Microsoft Word since I got Microsoft Word in like 2nd or 3rd grade. So like I was doing just fine manually formatting everything, and it's just Scrivener just has a lot more features that I use. So that was today's video. My next video is hopefully going to be an apartment tour. I just have to find the motivation to finish unpacking all of this. So that's what I'm gonna do with the rest of my day. But hope y'all are having a good day, and I will see you next time I make a video. Bye!